Hello, this is Kathleen here from Soul Awaken Skin Therapies, owner and lead therapist, and I'm super excited to be here again with you for another episode. And it is episode number 31. That's right, number 31. And today I'm going to be talking to you about supplements. Now, I'm really excited to get into this one, and in today's episode we're really going to be touching on how supplements can aid in your journey towards clear skin, some of the supplements I frequently talk about here in clinic, and some of the foods that you can actually eat to get these vitamins and minerals naturally. So really excited to get into this one, but I do really want to preface that this is not my area of expertise. My area is actually for the skin and treating the skin nutritionally, and essentially what I'm doing with skincare is providing supplements for the skin, knowing how they interact with the cells and how that actually changes the skin appearance and the health of the skin as well. Whereas when it comes to supplements and nutrition, it's not my area, and what I would really like you to do when you're listening to the advice I'm giving is to definitely cross-check this with a dietitian, a nutritionist, a doctor, a naturopath, and you can definitely take on my advice, because this is, I'm always talking about these and I have seen them work, but definitely do cross-check that and see if it's right for you and your healthcare plan, because at the end of the day, I don't know what's going on for your health, and these are just my general recommendations. So kind of just have to start the video with that, and I'm sure you can all understand, but it's just really important to take what I'm saying with a pinch of salt, a grain of salt. I can never get sayings right. Anyhow, let's just jump into it. And essentially, I would like to just talk about the main ones here and why I recommend them and how they can help your skin. And hello to everyone who is watching. Your names aren't popping up tonight, so I'm seeing you and I acknowledge you, but I just can't see your name. So please comment below. And I just wanted to let you know as well, if you do enjoy watching these skin education sessions, basically you can get notified for when I go live, and perhaps you already are, but if you're not, you can actually, there's a setting when you go to the profile of Soul Awaken Skin Therapies, and you just essentially click follow. So yeah, really, really easy. But essentially I recommend supplements because the way, basically I just said it before, I'm treating the skin nutritionally from a topical perspective, but we all know that when we are, first of all, meeting all our nutritional needs, when we are healthier, when we're just generally well, our skin will be better and it'll be healthier and looking much nicer. However, there is definitely a direct correlation with gut health and hormones when it comes to your skin, but it's not always concurrent, and that's something I have noticed, and I did talk about this in past episodes, and basically you can still live a pretty unhealthy lifestyle, and I think this definitely does come down to genetics and a lot of factors here, but there is a lot of people out there who are eating quite unwell, very unwell, but they still have really clear skin. And then you have on the other side of the spectrum people who have skin riddled with acne, and they're eating so well and trying so hard to be healthy, exercising and whatnot, and still dealing with these conditions. So yeah, there absolutely is a dietary link and a gut health link and a hormonal link to skin, but it's not always the case in my experience and from what I've seen. So it's about kind of digging deep and finding what your individual story is. But essentially when it comes to supplements, look, I am recommending supplements based on the evidence that I have learned, essentially, and I really don't recommend much. I have 3 main supplements that I will always recommend, because there's a plethora of information out there, and there is a lot of other bits and pieces here and there which we can kind of learn from and adapt into our life. But I mean, at the end of the day, the most important thing is to be eating a varied diet and getting these vitamins and minerals naturally. So that's why we are at the end touching on these important foods that you can start to eat to improve your skin. But let's get into the supplements. So I'd have to say the most important supplement that will help you on your skin transformation journey is your essential fatty acids, or your omega-3s. Now, essentially, I'm going to say essentially a lot, essentially they help in the formation of mucous membranes, and they help with the skin barrier. They also will help your skin to maintain a better quality oil. And we want a better quality oil. Hello, Catherine. We want a better quality oil so that our barrier is, sorry, I'm getting a bit lost there. I don't know if anyone else is feeling like this when it's coming close to Christmas, but essentially, thank you, Sasha. You're a sweetheart. You want those omegas to help make sure that the quality of your oil is better, and you want a better quality, so you don't want a thick oil, you want a nice thin oil. And when it is thicker, it's prone to congestion. Thinner, it moves easier. Now there's definitely a lot of other factors as well, but that's just one of them. But essentially, when it comes to the barrier of your skin, omegas will play a big role. So omegas are used a lot in the field of dermatology. And you'll see it used, it'll be recommended with clients or patients with eczema, dermatitis, all kinds of conditions. And the thing is, you'll see fish oil and omegas and these, essentially your omegas being recommended for things like heart disease as well. So, and brain health and so much more. So, taking these supplements, really, it just provides an extra level of support throughout a skin transformation journey. And to be quite honest, really, if we were to all be honest with ourselves, really, are we meeting our nutritional needs on a daily basis? I know I don't, and I do try really, really hard to meet my nutritional needs, but when you're busy and you're doing things all the time, we're not always meeting the standards. And I guess the approach you really want to take is balance and just trying your best at all times. But if you're really wanting to work towards a goal, which might be essentially improve your skin, clear your skin, improve your barrier function, or even get rid of acne, you're working towards a goal, why not add in that extra layer of help if it's going to help you, especially when there is a lot of evidence to suggest this. So that's why I do recommend omegas, because they will help, and I see the difference in clients who do take them and those who don't. And I have had clients actually report to me that when they go off of their omegas, specifically the omegas, they will see a decline in their skin, and it's gotten to the stage where their skin really craves it and it needs it to function, because some of us genetically are more predisposed. Oh, watching from Berlin. Hello, Isabel. That's so exciting. And hello, Livia. Oh, that's so amazing. So where was I there? I got very excited during Berlin. But essentially, why not give that extra layer of support for your skin? So let's go through the nutritional sources for your omegas. What omegas do you recommend specifically? Yes, and I have a recommendation for you, Sasha. It's actually a vegan version as well, and it's by Bioceuticals. I'm going to list that one at the end. And by the way, for anyone who is watching and who would like to receive my full list of supplements that I do recommend, please pop your email address in the comments or send it privately, and I'll email that out to you. I have it all ready to go. But let's talk about nutritional sources of your omegas. My laptop up here so I don't miss any. But essentially, another thing to remember, guys, is that when it comes to your omegas, are you getting much in your diet? I know, like I said before, I find it really difficult to always be meeting those needs, and especially with your omegas, because we tend to go for more of those. Thank you, Alicia. We tend to have more of those high saturated fats, and we're getting more of the omega-6s. We naturally do with our diets, whereas the omega-3s, which are really essential for your skin function, we don't tend to get them naturally. So let me just read a list of where you can get your omega-3s, both plant-based and both from animal-based as well. So here we go. So we've got the top food sources here. All right, so we're talking about a seafood section now, so anchovies, halibut, herring, mackerel, oysters, salmon, sardines, trout, and tuna. So they're all high in your omega-3s. We've also got dairy and juices fortified with omega-3s. I have to say, this was a new one for me. I didn't even realize that that was a thing, but you can find your omega-3s fortified in eggs, margarine, milk, juice, soy milk, and yogurt. Actually, I have seen them fortified in soy milk before. Also, this section's a really important one, grains and nuts with omegas. And my computer, come back to me. Yep, so I didn't realize this as well until today. You can get your omega-3s in bread, cereal, but I really wouldn't rely on it from those sources. You can also get it from flour, pasta, peanut butter, oatmeal, but I'm going to list the most important ones that you really should know, and that is flax seeds. And I always talk about flax seeds. I'm going to talk to you about a recommendation on how to get more flax seeds into your diet. Chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, walnuts, yeah, that's it on the list. So in terms of the flax seeds, you know, they have a lot of good benefits for your whole body, and they have a lot of anti-inflammatory factors, and they provide a really unique just a unique nutritional palette. That's not the right word there, but we'll go with that. And essentially, you want to get them in every single day. Dr. Michael Greger actually recommends this, and he's a plant-based nutritional doctor, and you can check him out on YouTube or on his website, but he has some great recommendations when it comes to health. And basically, he recommends a tablespoon a day. So you know what? I love Dr. Michael Greger. He's always quoting the science, and he's always up to date in his knowledge. So I absolutely follow his recommendations for my own health and for recommending to you guys. And essentially, the way to get in these flax seeds, well, first of all, you want to make sure these flax seeds are bioavailable. So you want to make sure that you've actually ground them up. So the thing is, you've probably seen flax seeds or linseeds. You know what, the words are interchanged all the time. So there's little tiny brown little kind of oval seeds, and you don't want to be having them whole. You actually want to be crushing them up, or essentially blitzing them and grinding them up. Here we go. I've set some new reminders onto my phone. They're all going off today. So you want to blitz them up, and it's really, really simple. Use a coffee grinder or a really high powered blender. And what you want to do, you actually want to blend them up, put them into your fridge, and you only want to make an amount for about 7 days. I know there's a lot of specifics with this, but I'll explain to you why you want to do this. This is what I've formulated as the best for me. So essentially, you want to only get a 7-day source, pop them into a container, put them into the fridge. Now, the reason why you want to do this, first of all, you want to grind them up because so you can actually get the oil, the omegas from the source. Otherwise, you can imagine they're just going to get caught in all your foods and they're going to come out as a seed. So you're not to put too many pictures in your mind there, but you want to actually be digesting them. They won't digest just by themselves. So first of all, you want to grind them. But second of all, you want to actually make sure they don't go rancid. And this is flax seeds. Oh gosh, they notoriously, the oil will go rancid. So I grind them up for about 7 days of use. So I'll tell you how you can actually take these flax seeds without it being disgusting or anything like that. Because trust me, when it comes to supplements and nutrition, it has to taste good or I won't do it. So, right, you want to make this 7-day sauce and put it into your fridge to prevent it from going rancid. Now, you can go to the stores and you can buy flaxseed and linseed from already freshly ground. And I do personally avoid that, just because from my research so far, it just seems that the best bet is to actually do it in this way. So that's what I do. But how are you actually going to get these really important flax seeds, linseeds into your diet? Well, it's really, really simple. If you're having morning oats or porridge or bircher muesli or something of that sort, it's actually pretty easy. And basically you just scoop that tablespoon into your oats and you would never know it's there. I promise you that. Like I said, I'm very fussy with my flavors and textures. Hello, Paula. So try that. I've had clients come back to me and say it's super easy. They're getting in their flax seeds, and it's just going to help you with your omega-3s essentially. I'm all about getting them in naturally if you can. So you always want to get your nutrition through food before you go to supplements, but sometimes taking a supplement will help you. So that's the way to get flax seeds in. And honestly, with the rest of the foods, when it comes to your omegas, yeah, you just experiment. See if you can, perhaps if you eat fish, increase your dosage of fish every week. You know, start buying salmon and start being creative with your meals so you can up those amounts. And yeah, when it comes to those flax seeds, again, you know, I don't really, from the research I have done, I'm not a big fan of taking flaxseed oil personally, but yeah, definitely do your own research. But that is the best way, and you can also put them into your smoothies if you're a smoothie kind of gal. You could put them into muffins and breads and things like that as well. So it's really, really easy to get those in if you do have a dedicated breakfast. So moving on to my next supplement on the list, and this is one I'm always talking about, and it is always recommended in dermatology for various different skin issues, and that is zinc. Goodness me, there's so much information on zinc, but essentially having zinc in your diet will help a lot with the immune function. It'll just help with the overall skin function. So I've just got up a zinc supplement page, one of the ones that I recommend, and what have we got here? So we've got nutritional, I just want to read the main ones for you guys. So there's a whole lot of other benefits. So it helps with healthy eyes. I actually didn't realize this one before. Helps with neurological function, absolutely with the immune function, and it balances and supports normal male physiology and function as well. And for the maintenance of healthy sperm and prostate function, that's a new one as well. So there's a lot of good benefits of zinc, but essentially you really need zinc, and it's been shown to help in a lot of acne cases. So definitely, if you want to have a little Google yourself, have a little look into zinc in acne, and there's a lot of studies to really back that up. So I'm always recommending zinc, and I personally noticed a difference in my health and my skin since I've started taking it. So let's talk about where you can get your zinc from nutritionally. These are all, it's always eye-opening to hear it all over again. So we've got on the list, we've got meat. So a lot of meats will be high in zinc. Shellfish, legumes, so particularly chickpeas is really high in your zinc. And what else have we got? Yep, beautiful. And lentils as well. Hello, Kai. You can also find zinc in a lot of seeds and nuts. Where else? We can find it in dairy, eggs, whole grains, some vegetables. And which vegetables do we have? Oh, that's quite, I didn't realize this. You can find it in potatoes. I wouldn't have expected that. I think when I think of potatoes, I always think of something nutritionally deficient. Dark chocolate as well. So yeah, you can absolutely get it in. But I have to say, I was missing my zinc a lot, because there's a lot of food groups here that I don't eat. And particularly, I follow a plant-based diet, and I personally just don't sit well with many legumes and chickpeas and things like that. So I wasn't getting any of that food group in. So no wonder I'm personally feeling better with an increase of zinc supplement. So they're the two main ones. And the next point I really wanted to touch on was the topic of pre and probiotics, and kind of where I sit on this whole conversation. Hello, Emily. So essentially, we do know there is an absolute gut link when it comes to the skin in many different skin issues like acne, rosacea, just to name a couple. But the thing is, I personally, from a personal perspective, don't feel comfortable recommending pre and probiotics. Now, others in the industry might argue with me and say that it's totally fine and it's totally safe, but I'm really actually just basing this off the little bits of research I've done. I follow a few different nutritionists, and it seems to be that, you know, a probiotic might not actually help everyone here, so hear me out. But essentially, I actually had a bad experience with taking probiotics because I've talked about it many times, but I do have a little bit of gut upset, and I'm actually making progress, which is fantastic. But the thing is, I started taking a probiotic, and this was a very high dose of probiotics, a very good quality source, and I actually felt worse. I was getting extreme bloating, really painful, and I'm thinking, what is going on? I actually went and spoke to my naturopath at the time, and she said to me, you know, it's just not going to help everybody. It really depends on your personal gut flora. So they might help someone in their circumstance, and I know a lot of people do swear by them, but for me personally, they didn't work for me, and my naturopath, her recommendations was to take them eventually, but we need to really have an approach that makes sense for your health. And that's why I really spoke at the start of this talk and saying that you really need to speak to someone when it comes to the supplements that you're taking, and making sure that you have that guidance for your particular case. Because I can be sitting here talking about zinc and omegas and probiotics, but it might not actually work for you due to your personal health circumstances. So that's really the takeaway I wanted to share with you when it comes to pre and probiotics. But we do know that foods that are high in these probiotics, so kefir, your sauerkrauts, your kombuchas, and all of that, they can be really, really helpful and very healthy for you. So don't avoid them just because I mentioned this. This is just to perhaps have another little thought in your mind, and perhaps you've gone to take probiotics and you've felt worse. That was definitely my experience, and we're getting there personally. So the next one on my list is actually magnesium. Now, the reason why I personally recommend magnesium, well, first of all, as well as being a skin therapist, I am a remedial massage therapist, and it is very well known that when you don't have enough magnesium internally, your muscles and everything starts to cramp, and you start to get restless leg syndrome, lots of twitching and muscle cramps and aches, and you don't recover as quick. But the thing is, magnesium is one of the third most abundant mineral in our body. So if we're not getting enough magnesium, a lot of other functions in our body won't be working optimally. So I absolutely recommend magnesium. It's going to help with your sleep, anxiety levels, so many things. Definitely do a little bit of research, but essentially most of us aren't getting enough magnesium when it comes to our diets. Yeah, and it definitely changed a lot for me. When I take magnesium regularly, you know, you're just less jittery and you're less kind of amped up, and you're a bit more calm and relaxed. And the way that this relates back to the skin is because when our nervous system is overactive, so when we're really stimulated, everything's cramped up and we go, our nervous system is producing more cortisol, which is a stress hormone. And we do know that when you've got more stress hormones circulating in your body, it's going to have a negative impact on your skin as well. So from that perspective, I feel very comfortable in recommending magnesium, not only for your muscles and sleep and stress, but how that's going to affect the skin as well, because there's a big correlation between stress levels and your skin. Oh goodness, what else do we talk about? There are some really specific supplements that when I do email you guys, so if you are new to the broadcast and you want to see my list of supplements that I recommend, pop your email below or message it through and I'll send it straight through to you. But essentially there are a couple of other specialist ones on my list, and they are from the company Bioceuticals, because at the end of the day, when it comes to supplements, Emily Adams says, is it okay to take magnesium during pregnancy? I wish I could give you an answer to this. I think I have answered this in the past, and I'm fairly sure it is safe. I'm fairly sure. Nothing, yeah, oh gosh, definitely check that one, Emily. But I'm pretty sure, because I know someone's asked me this one before, so do your own research. But it can absolutely help with premenstrual symptoms as well. Obviously that's not a symptom when you're pregnant, but it's something to think about there. So back to my list. I basically recommend bioceuticals for the supplements that I recommend, and there's a lot of reasons around this. Well, first of all, the supplement industry, if you look at how the supplement industry has grown over the last 10 to 15 years, it's actually quite scary. Sorry guys. When you look at the supplement industry, it is massively grown and spiked in the last 10 to 15 years. And for me, that's pretty alarming, because we don't really know much to do with the regulations when it comes to supplements, and it's all about that bioavailability. So essentially, when it comes to supplements, I would much prefer support a company that has practitioner strength and has a really good reputation. I'm not sponsored or have any affiliation or positive impact from recommending bioceuticals. I've just had a really positive experience with them. So I do personally recommend, and you can buy them at most of your pharmacies from behind the counter, so they are a higher strength, but I do opt for practitioner strength over just the generic supplements. But essentially, they're my biggest recommendations is your omegas, your zinc, and your magnesium, and if it is appropriate for you with your gut health, if there is a gut health link and it is appropriate for you, is to go for your pre and probiotics. So let me know if you have any questions. Like I said, this is not my area of expertise, but I have absolutely seen improvements in people's skin when it comes to recommending these supplements. And also I wanted to quickly touch on, if you are over say 45 or 50, or perhaps you've gone through menopause, it would be very wise to actually start supplementing with your omegas for your skin, because there was something another therapist passed on to me, and if you are watching Kai, please comment below. That was Kai that passed this on to me. But essentially, later in life, our skin has a bit of difficulty uptaking the omegas, I think, nutritionally as well. So you want to actually be supplementing, helping more so with that uptake. It's something to do with menopause. But anyhow, that's it from me, guys. Again, pop your email address below and I'll absolutely send you my list, but please speak to your doctor, your naturopath, nutritionist, and really consider taking charge of your health if you really want to take charge of your skin as well. They go hand in hand, and it's just going to be an extra added bonus. So thank you so much for watching. I will be having a break from these skin education sessions over the next 3 weeks, and we'll be resuming on these sessions in January. Super excited. Awesome. Absolutely will, Emily. And we'll be starting with next year with a whole new content schedule. We've got it scheduled all the way to August, so I'm super excited to be talking to you about skin, and we're really going to be breaking it down from how to start your routine, going through all the different stages of a skincare routine, skin health, skin conditions, skin types. So much on the agenda for next year. I hope you're really excited, and I'd love to wish you all a really, really Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and just stay well, look after yourself, and I really look forward to connecting with you soon. All right, that's it from me. Bye.